welcome to this session as we describe what meta descriptions are. Okay, so what are meta descriptions? Meta descriptions are HTML attributes that provide a concise summary of our web page. They are usually around, say, 157 to 160 characters, maximally 160 characters. Okay, and they appear in search engine results pages, okay, beneath the title of the page. Although meta descriptions do not directly influence search engine ranking, they play a significant role in attracting users to click through to your website by providing a snapshot of page contents, okay? Now, if we look at these carefully, if we look at what we have here, this is a meta description of one of the posts from TerraSkills website, all right? So we definitely have our meta description here under the title of the page, right? So this is the meta description that we have here, okay? So what are the key characteristics of meta descriptions? Number one, the length. Like we said earlier, maximally, it should be 160 characters to ensure the entire description is visible in search engine result pages. If you go back here, you'll see that we have the entire meta description shown here. If it's longer than 160, the search engine result page will definitely reduce it, okay? And you'll definitely be seeing the dots. So it's better to have your excerpts shown in a way that readers can actually read and understand that it is what they are looking for, okay? So then content, your meta description should be succinctly summarized, right? So it should summarize the page content in such a way that it can actually attract readers to click your link. It is important that you include primary keywords that naturally will help people to click your link. The keyword should naturally be infused in your meta description and should be relevant to search engine queries, okay? And that is why you see in your meta descriptions when they are relevant to your search engine queries, you see them get bold, okay, during search, all right? Then it is important that you also incorporate a call to action to encourage clicks. This will ensure that you have a powerful meta description that will definitely convert to make people at least click your link to see what you have inside of it. What are the importance of meta descriptions? Number one, they improve click-through rates. A compelling meta description can attract more clicks from searchers, increasing your click-through rates, okay? Then you have user experience. A compelling meta description will help users understand what the page is about before clicking. Therefore, this description sets a correct expectation for the user. That is saying that they know what it is that they're expecting when they go into the page. Thirdly, SEO benefits, okay? Like we said earlier, while meta descriptions don't directly impact ranking, a higher click-through rate from a well-crafted meta description can indirectly influence search engine optimization by signaling to search engines that your page is valuable and relevant. Let's look at best practices for writing meta descriptions. Number one, be concise and clear. Keep the description straightforward and to the point. Imagine you summarizing all of your content to 160 characters. Include keywords. Use primary keywords naturally, okay? So don't stuff your keywords. Keywords should appear naturally in such a way that users will not outrightly identify what your keywords are, but your keywords should be relevant to the search queries. Incorporate a call to action that encourages users to take action. For example, like learn more, read now, and so on and so forth. Your meta description should match the page content. So it should actually be an accurate reflection of what your page is about so that you avoid high bounce rates. Use unique descriptions for each page. So don't duplicate meta descriptions, okay, across different pages. So you have to use unique meta description each time you want to use meta descriptions in blog pages or other pages in your website. Now, I want to introduce you to a search engine result page snippet tool or optimization tool. This is provided by Hypervisibility. The main purpose of this tool is to allow content publishers to strategically construct page titles and meta description tags that will result in aesthetically pleasing or eye-catching listing in Google's organic search results. So for me, as a professional, I put in all of this into planning. For instance, when I get my title, I get my page content, I begin to look at how I'll be seen on Google search. It's a good way to think about this because you need to actually take this into consideration so that you will know how the length of your title, your length of your URL, whether it's appropriate, the length of your meta description is appropriate, and if everything is in line with the tools you'll be using. Now, let's look at this tool and how it works. I'll be trying a title, say 10 ways to keep readers engaged. So I'll put in a title here and say 10 ways to keep readers engaged. Okay, 10 ways to keep readers engaged. So I'll be using terraskills.com as the domain. Okay, now you realize that this is the domain. The extension definitely will go this way. So remember, in the building of your URL, remember I recommended that you use your page name or your post name if it's a blog post you are writing. So you definitely need to have it this way so that you can actually perform better. So I'm going to copy this, which is the post title, and fix it here. Okay, so usually you have the URL this way. All right, so we need to put in our description now. So what I want to point out here is that you see that the title, it gives us a kind of recommended 580 pixels for the title. Watch this. Let me just add at random. You see that when we exceed this, it put it at red. Okay, why it does so is because if your title is too long, you don't in your search engine, in the Google search engine result page, you will not have the title complete. So you'll have something like this. It's going to have dots this way. So readers cannot be engaged from your title because they are not seeing the complete title of your page, right? So it's important that they can see the complete title of a page and not something broken down. So do not exceed the number of words that you should use. Similarly, with the URL, a longer URL will be cut short in your search engine result pages. Okay, the same thing here with your meta descriptions. I recommended that your meta description should be somewhere between 157 characters to maximally 160 characters. Let us type in our description. So for the description, we'll say, discover 10 proven ways to keep readers engaged with your content, boost retention with these actionable tips. Click to transform your writing today. Okay, we see that we are in line. Okay, then you scroll down, you're going to see how you're going to be appear on search. You see our URL, it is not broken. Okay, we have 10 ways to keep our readers engaged. Let me show you something. Assuming we have a longer title like this, see the result, right? We are way above the recommended length. Go down to this and see what it looks like. On our search engine result pages, this is what is going to look like. We say 10 ways to keep readers engaged. So you have the ... to show that the length is continuing. But this way, readers will not know what exactly it is until they click. So we want to ensure that we can, at a glance, attract readers' attention. So that is why we need to keep to recommended length. The same thing with the URL as well as the meta description. You can see our meta description clearly here. It is clear for us to read and to see. So this way, it will be easy for our readers to follow. Okay, if you go ahead and say you want to, the rich snippet, like when you have your Google reviews and so on, if you want to actually add it to see how it looks, if your page is a service page or a service blog where people rate your content, you definitely have to add this. This will be obvious in your search as well. So you add this to see how it looks. If you want to add the date and see how it looks, you see you have the date. But when you come to add the date, remember that it adds to the length, right, of your description. So if the date is added, therefore, you have to reduce your description. You can see now that I say click to transform your ... right, to show a continuum. However, this call to action here is not complete, so it can't be compelling. So if that is the case, if I must add this date, I have to make sure I do away with some of the content of the description. If not, I'll make my setting in such a way that there'll be no need for dates, but just the description. Now, if we look at this meta description, we talked about length, right? We said the length should be between 157 to 160 character. Check, we are correct here. Then it said it should clearly engage. Secondly, we should clearly summarize the page content, right? So you see that the page content is about keeping readers engaged. So instead of listing, I think there are difficult ways to, rather it shouldn't be easy to summarize a content, but to have a kind of attention grabbing method to show that we have 10 proven ways in our blog to keep readers engaged, because in the end goal is to boost retention with the tips. And we want to say they are actionable tips because they are tips you can implement and which will drive readers' engagement. Okay, so we see our call to action here. Our call to action is click to transform your writing today. So definitely we are calling on readers to be engaged by clicking to read our content. Okay, and now we definitely have incorporated relevant keywords naturally. Like for instance, content, actionable tips. Will you be using content and actionable tips here as our keyword? So we implemented this naturally. Naturally means that it flows. Discover 10 proven ways to keep your readers engaged with your content, right? It flows. It doesn't just appear. And we have avoided keyword stuffing. So we definitely just had two here, content and actionable tips, right? Okay.